So what we are trying to do here was we are trying to keep some records as a update with some ID, and some records we will not give any ID. So okay, I'm giving some IDs here. So I randomly picked the ID, so it could be a different record IDs, but we're going to update with the same information for those records. Okay, and some of the records giving a new names. Yes, deleting those. Mm, okay, and this is also going to be a new one. Continuous and GST numbers also. I want to make a change. So this is what. So now what I'm doing. So I have total 12 records. Out of 12 records, I have a 3 records. I'm giving a Salesforce IDs, and here my plan is to do a some as update, some as a create. So I'm going to use this one, add new and update existing records. And here in the match, I'm using a Salesforce record ID, and I don't want to check any owners over here. I'm going to pick the file now. So whatever the Salesforce ID, it automatically picked as a ID from the CSV file. So do a next. So we have 9 mappings. Start import. Because we have a less files, so it doing a immediately. So if you have more files, it will take some time. So here it is saying 14 are failed and 25 are processed. Wow, we don't have 25, right? But we have, I think we have the blank spaces because of that. Maybe because of that it might have failed. Okay, let's see the view result. So the view result, so these are all blank values only, but still I'm not sure why it is picked up. So not to worry about that. I guess. So actually how many? We gave only the total 11 records only we gave. And from the result also, we got everything as success. If you observe here, first 3 are not created. That means it is updated, but remaining all are created. So all are success only. Okay, so this is how you get. If you have some failures, you will get everything together. Sorry, everything together with the success, create, and error. And if something has failed here also, it will get error here, and then so basically whatever the order you gave, it will be give the same order. But thing was you don't have any key same. It's going to identify your actual load data and here. So only the row wise only you have to match to your requested file. So if you download the requested file and if you match with this result, so you have to put it side by side. And if you're looking at a fourth row here, you need to look at the fourth row in your request also. That's how you need to do it. So any questions here? So out of 11 records, 3 are updated. So you're going to get 8 more projects. Before we have 29, and now we have a 29 plus 8, 37 projects we have now. Okay, So if you observe, the owner is given as my name. Why? Because I have not specified any owner. So all records are created with my ownership. Okay. Any doubts over here? If all good, we'll go to a data loader.
So if any error,
Mm,
so how do we identify is based on the result and view result.
yeah, in result we have a log, right? So when you look at the bulk jobs, just you will see the summarized value as a number. How many records is failed, and when you download the result file, so this one result file, you can see this success and true you see, right? Just you need to apply the filter over here, and you have more records what are all false. So these are all the failed records.
Okay.
So,
So
but which record is failed if you want to see? So you have to match row by row. So it is failed the 13th row number. So if you have to open your request file, not this one. You have to open your
so
request file,
based on
row number.
based on the order we upload, so in that
Hmm.
same way, same order we
It will get a
file.
result. So we need to look at 13 row. Why it is? Because there is no data, but I have not deleted it correctly. So I think maybe some commas might be there. So it is loading as everything as a blank.
So this has been done using data
What was
import
it?
wizard. 50K is the limit.
Correct.
Uh,
No,
Is there any columns? Column wise, any restrictions?
no, we don't have any column like this. How many columns you have in the object you can load.
Oh,
And okay, so this one data loader, you have to install the um, application, right? So you have to download this one and then you have to install it. So based on your system, it's a MacBook or a Windows, you have to download it, and you will having instructions as a guide how to install it also you will get. So you can make use of this document, and it's a very straightforward steps. You can just follow those. Okay, and then let me see whether I have already installed it or not.
Bala, I have a quick question.
Yep.
So earlier in the upload, right, when you did an upload, the owner name was, added as your name. So what if we choose to upload the owner names as well?
There, we have to give when we do. So I'm going back. If there is when we're doing the upload, we have option to select which field to decide the owner name. Data input wizard. One way is directly you can select the owner ID here. Here you will make one column as a owner ID. So if some fields you want to make it as a one owner, you have to give their ID. And if it is our other place you want to give different user, you can use that. And the other way is when you have so I want to update existing one. Which user field in your file designates the record owner? Okay, so you want to decide the owner by the name, external ID, or Salesforce ID. So here you have option to give your owner name, or if you have any external ID on that user, you can use that, or you can give directly a Salesforce ID. So here, so batch one is a one owner that's already I'm having. Okay, by default, all you see it. So I want to use now a team as a owner. So how I can see, if you open a team, you will get a Salesforce ID in the URL. This is one way. So you can put You can put the IDs for the user. I'm deleting this column and doing a save. So I'm going to give 11 records as the different owner. Okay, and here when I do import wizard, so here I want to do with the Salesforce ID as a owner, and I'm updating it. So I gave a owner ID column in my CSV file. So when I picked up, so you have right, record owner is going to be your owner ID column. Then do a next, do a start import. Okay. So previously, how many records you have? How many records you have with the team as a owner? 2 or 3, I remember. Okay, now you see how many records you have. Okay, so this is how you can change the owner or like give a different owners. Okay, and other option is you can have not only the ID, so it will be hard for you to pick up the ID, and you want to um, give it as a name of the user. Okay, so the name is this one, batch one SF Tech. Okay, so I want to use this one. So again, all this 11 records. Not 11. Let's see, only 7. And other one I will use as a team only, because I don't know the Salesforce ID. I know only the IDs. So I want to assign the owner based on so we are getting some errors, right? That's why I'm removing some of those columns. Okay, so I'm saving it here, and again doing a one more import. So this time we are not going with the Salesforce record IDs. So we know only the names. So match by name, match by external ID, match by name only. Again, so here project open next. So it's going to be my owner ID mapping. I'm not sure whether it's going to work or not. Let's see. Okay, so 11 records are processed and one record is failed. Maybe it might have one error row. So actually we have only 11 rows only, not 12. Okay, so everything got success. And now look at this one. Previously, how many team is the owner? We have a 12 as a owner. Now I'm just refreshing. Now you have only 7 as the owner. So if you even look at this file also, you can able to map it. So 31, 32, 33, 34 are owners of a team. Team is the owner of those 31, 32, 35. Okay. So this is how you can give a owners, different owners. Is that answers your question?
Yeah, that does.
Okay.
And one more was, so the upload you did right now, the users were existing users in our system.
Mm-hmm.
So, what if we have like 5,000 records and there are like different record owners they want,
Mm.
and we can't like, double check all the users. So, what if is it mandatory for the, users to be existing in our system to do this?
Yeah, and then only, right? So if the user is there, then only you can make the owner. If the users are not there, we cannot make them as a owner. So what will happen was, so let's say, so what I gave exactly the matching names. So that's why I did not get any failures. So let me give you a wrong name and you will see how it will behave. So I'm going to give a um, team, just any number or just random text. Okay, we don't have these two users. Still, I want to make that as a owner. Okay, so we're not sure that user is present in our system or not. Still, you give that as a owner name, and if you try to update, see what happens. Obviously, it's going to be a fail. Why? Because we don't know that name, so that user is not present in Salesforce, so it will not get a match. So it's going to be a failure. Okay, I'm doing it next. Okay, it's saying it is success, but let's see. So previously, team have a 5 record as the bulk 31 and 32 we have, which is I gave like a different names. Okay, so let's see 31 and 32, what happens to those records. So 31 and 32, it gave a you as a owner. So who is loaded? So batch one is loaded. So it was not able to match the finding. So it is making whoever load, they are the owner of that record. If they find a match, then it's picking that owner. If it's not matches, then it picks the whoever loads, they as the owner.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay then. Okay, I'm just checking whether I have already installed data loader so that we can save some time here. Okay, I have already installed this one. So I'm just opening it. Okay, install. Mm, mm, mm. Yes. this image. Okay, I don't see a file, existing one. Mm, mm, mm. I messed up here. Mm. Yeah, I think it's I already installed and it's outdated version. Let me check actually instead of pressing here. So I will show you like how to do with the data loader, the data loads. Okay. Meanwhile, let's see the reports. So in reports, what actually report does? Reports will give us a summarize data that we have it in the Salesforce objects. So we have a default reports that will already created in Salesforce whenever you creating a objects. So if you remember, while creating a object, you have option to whether um, y- you want to make it enable for reporting or not. So if you go to the setup and look for the project, there you have an option to do a allow reporting on that object or not. If you allow, then only you can do the reporting on that object. So you see enable reports. Once you check this box, then only you can do a reporting on the specific object. If you don't check this box, you are not allowed to create the reports on this object. First step to create a report is you have to enable this feature. Next one. So I have not created any report types for the project. But by default, when you enable the checkbox, Salesforce will create one report type for you for whatever the object that you have created. So we'll be having a projects and project with your a related list. So you have a related list with the resource and contacts, and you have one object called a project history. Why? Because you enable a field tracking history for the project, and contact with resource and project activities with products. These are all the by default what Salesforce creates for you. When you create an object based on relations you have on the object, Salesforce by default will create this some report types. Okay, what we see here when we see a project and when you see a project with resource and context, when you select only the project, you will see only the project information. When you want to see along with the project who are all the resources in the project and who are all the contacts, you want to see both information together, then you can pick the project with the resource and contacts. Like what if you want to look at the history on the what happened on the project history, that is if anybody changed the tracking fields, you can see that project history in the in project history report type. So first thing is, if you want to create a report, first step is to select the report type. What report type you want to select? This is going to be your base to create your report, or like what data you see in the report. So if I select only the project, and you can see the data available here. So you see the left pan, it's saying a fields. All these fields are coming only from the project. I don't, and you don't have option to select any other fields. You have only the project fields only. Okay. And let's see a basic navigation here, how it looks. So you have whether you have what is the report type you're going to have it here, and then what is going to be your report name, project only, report one. Okay. And here outline is going to be help you. So what columns you want to select here. So let's say I want to see your growth. So if you want to city, if I want to add a state, I can just do a search and I can add those fields. So if you want to rearrange, just you can click on that one, and you can just drag to a whichever place you want. So this is how you can rearrange the columns. And we have a grouping rows. So this grouping rows will come back later. So filters. So by default, you are picked as a my project. That means this is going to be your record level security. So who are all the, oh, you are the owner. It will only give you the projects owned by you when you're saying a my projects. Let's keep that. But what are the options available is my projects, my team projects, user owned projects, queue owned projects, all projects. These are all the options available. If you want to see all data by all to the all users, then you have to pick the all projects. If you're saying my projects, what are all the you own, it's going to be your own projects. Let's keep it like this. And there will be a one default date filter. If you don't have any date fields, then it's going to be your created date, or you can change whatever date you want here. And what should be your date range? If you give all time or current quarter, there will be a standard options like a current quarter, next quarter. It's first is physical years, current, previous two physical years, 2 physical years ago, next physical year, everything on a physical years. Next is going to be a quarter. This quarter is going to be again current, previous, next. first and next, previous and next, all these options you have. And again was a calendar years. First one is a physical year, sorry, first one is a physical year and physical quarter, and next one is a calendar year and calendar quarter, calendar month, and weeks, and then days. This is how you have a standard filter, and you don't want to do any of this. And if you want to go for a custom, then you have to select the range, start and end dates of the date. This is how we can pick. If you don't want any filter and you want to see all the data, you can see. So these two filters are going to be a mandatory whatever report you're going to create. One is show me all records in the project, or only your team and your own team or queue-based team, you can do that, or like one date filter. These two are going to be a default filters for any report, and on top of it you can add um, your own filters. Let's say I want to see the stage by wise, so I'm creating all stages here and just doing apply, and we don't visualize here. So if you want to visualize, it's going to be some more time. If you want to do it really quick, then you can disable this option and you can really make quick this all these options, and once you're done you can enable this one so that you can have a preview. So what all you see here, it's not exact value, it's sample data. Okay, previewing a limited number of records and the report see the everything exactly. So don't assume that this is what you're going to report. This is what some of the matching records, not all records. Okay, so how everything here, once you do a run and save, it will ask for where you want to save here. You can give a description, and this is what the report folder, where you want to select the folder. By default it's going to be a private folder, but you want to, if it's a private folder, only you can see, none of us, like even if you are not admin and if you're saving the report in your private folder, even admin cannot access your reports, only you can access. So what are all the folders available here, you can see, like there will be a sub folder, so you can create all those. So there is no subfolder here, so I'm going to all folders created by me. So I not created any folder shared with me. There's only one standard report folder called Einstein bot reports, but so this is a private reports, so we don't have any subfolders to a private, so you can directly select, and a public reports as a one folder. So I want to give it as a public reports folder. I selected it and I'm doing a save. So once you do a save, this is how a report looks. Okay, this is called a sorry, this is called a tabular format of the report. So at any point of time you have saved, at any point of time you want to add any columns, and if you want to add filters, you can go to edit, and again you can add more columns to it. If you want to add email, it's already there. Number of employees I want to give, and I want to give a GST number. I want to give a ID of the project. I want to give a project ID. So this is what I want to see it here. So can do that. And if you want to do a sorting, always you can do that. So just a click. If you do, it will be ascending, and if you again click, it will be descending. This is how you can sort with any column you want in your tabular report. And so if you do some sorting here, right, if you do save here, then only it will save. Otherwise, if you refresh, whatever you have before, it will be there. So if you making any changes here, you need to click on save, then only it will be saved. Okay, so already we have some filters, right? So here, from here also we can change the filter to everything, but only thing was this will be applied. So if I do a refresh here without saving, it will be again revert back to a what is the original filter it's having. So it's having a my projects only. If I change to a different value, and if you do a save, then only when you do a refresh, or like when you come back the next time, whatever changes you make, that will be stayed only if you do a save. Okay, that's how So if you see my projects, then it's not showing the team's project, right? It only showing 32, and 5 of them are with a different owner. So that's what why it's not showing there. And so everything, we don't have much created date range. Everything we created in a few days back. So also showing the different dates will not be much accurate here. And so here, let's add a stage over here and see how, just a filter. So if you apply the filter, only if you see that data, that's it. Nothing magic here. So you have different stages, and if you want to see only the not started projects, you can do apply filter so that you see only the not started projects. That's it. And here, apart from that, when you have more data, you have one search symbol. So here, where you can do a search on the record data. So whatever you see here, you can do a search. You will get matchings like that, 1 out of 2 and 2 out of 2. So you can find a matchings over here. Okay, this is what a search inside the data in the report that will help. Just refresh. Just it will, if you have somebody else is working on the data and loading some data, and if you want just refresh, in order to refresh entire page, just we can use a local refresh to refresh the data inside the report. Okay, now you have more options here, like save as, save, subscribe, export, delete, add to dashboard. So let's see few of them. So save, you already seen. Save as means you are duplicating this report to a one more report. If you want to do a save as a report 2, then it will save one more report for you, and whatever the folder. So previously wherever you were a folder, the same folder will be selected, and you can change that folder and do a save. And now it's become your next report called a report 2. And then you have option to do a export. Export means just you are exporting whatever the data you are looking at here. Same you can do a export here. So you have a different options. Formatted means it will be exactly same what you are looking in the page. It will be formatted in a same way. If you have detailed view, where you have a different option, XLS, XLSX, comma, sorry, a .csv files, whatever you like, you can do that format of a sheet. So first I'm looking at a formatted Excel, how it looks. See, so it will be exactly same how you are looking at the page, what is possible in your Excel. Okay, so you will get with some copyrights and all, how you see the filter, how you see the data, and what are all the filters applied your data, and what is your name, and when it is sorted, or like when it run, every information will be there on a thing. And apart from that, even you can do a subscribe. Subscribe means when you want to get the email with this report as a attachment, or like just a report in your body.